Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Brittany. Um, so today's word, I have another dream message I wanted to give because this was connected to my last dream. I also felt it on my spirit when I had my last dream to do this one as well. Like it was almost a continuation. So I was looking through my notes for a while to try to find it, and it was like coming back to my memory. So God just said, like, do it by memory. That's what I felt, what I heard. And so I'm kind of going to do it by memory, and then if I find more information, maybe I'll do a community post or post on it in the description. I just want to thank you guys so much also for all the new people, and I just want to tell you I'm so grateful and excited for the future. So yes, it just feels like I'm living a dream right now. Anyways, let's get started. So this word is a dream I had like maybe uh, a year or two ago, and it never left my spirit. Like I knew it was something so important because it almost scared me a little bit. I believe I could have woken up just very like alerted by it because it was so urgent. Anyways, in this dream, it's very similar to the last one. So go watch the last word. I just posted if this is for you. If you've been hearing the word judgment a lot, this may also be for you. But take it back to God in prayer. As I always say, please pray before applying or adding it to your life. Now, in this dream, and sorry guys, I don't have the date with me right now. Like I said, I might post about it on community post. I was in like a place that seemed like a mall, but it almost seemed isolated. Not on the outside, but on the inside. There weren't much people walking around or anything, and we were like in a far off area to the side. And if it didn't even seem like there was that many stores or they weren't open. It seemed like it was morning time. I was with my brothers. I don't want to say every detail. And then one particular brother was like the leader, kind of, and he was driving a car. Yes, I know. In the mall. It's a dream, okay? So he was driving a car in the mall, or he got into the car to drive it, and he was in the front seat. Everyone else got in. I was in too for a bit, and it was kind of like just casual. There was like a little ramp, like a ramp that kind of curves, like a J curves, a ramp, the letter J. So it kind of looked like a skateboard ramp. And it seemed like he was trying to do something with that, but I wasn't sure if he was really going to do it. And everyone was just casually in there thinking it was going to be a regular day, that him driving in the mall, regular day. I also seen 5:45 on the clock and 9:42. Okay, so that's why it stood out to me, guys. I'm telling you, it was kind of stand out. And so the car started driving. I believe it was a red car as well, but I'm not sure, or it was some color. I'm not sure. It started driving it kind of slow and everything, and everyone was just there smoothly. And then this car started going fast, and it was starting to go up this ramp basically, and it was about to like overturn. And guys, oh my gosh, I was so concerned because I was like, oh my gosh, this almost looks intentional, like an intentional destruction. Like, what is happening here? Or like someone was not thinking in that moment. It just felt like so crazy what was happening. It was being done to themselves. And before that happened, like before I went on the ramp and started overturning or anything like that, I jumped out of the car. Like I got out right in time very smoothly. It was like those emergency procedures you would learn when you're like at a police station or like when it comes to fire rescue and things like that, where you like drop and roll or something. Yeah, I kind of just indirectly knew to do that, and I just jumped out and rolled. Like I jumped out right up the side door and rolled perfectly without getting injured to stand at the side because I was like, no, I'm not continuing with this. And of course, I probably would have wanted to help the other people, but it was already going so fast, guys. I just did what I needed to do in that moment. I would have wanted to help the other people. I didn't know what was even happening. So I escaped, like I got out. And then it went up very, like, not a high, but it went up fiercely fast, then overturned and like crashed down. Oh my gosh, guys. I was like, Lord, oh my gosh, what's happening? Sometimes, even when you're in the dream state, you can also be like talking to the Lord sometimes. But, anyways, or hearing Him. Anyways, it seemed like the scene switched when that happened. I could barely see when it crashed. I just knew that something bad had happened, and the scene switched. And it switched to um, it switched to them being outside of the vehicle. So they had gotten out, barely be able to, and like made their way out, right? And they were all there, like kind of just standing around looking a little aloof, but also confused or upset. And the person who did this thing, like who caused this issue, didn't take no accountability. It was like they almost were like, oh, just any other day, just any other day. They didn't say that, but that's how it is. And they were all injured. When I looked at them, I was like, it was so sad, guys. I looked at them and they were all injured in some ways. Like one person had a hand issue, one person their leg. It wasn't like extreme blood or anything, but it was issues that almost couldn't be fully seen, but was very serious, as in possibly a fractures, broken bones, ribs, lungs. I don't know, not lungs, but you know what I mean, and severe injuries, and they were just there. And then the dream ended. So let's give the interpretation. So me being in the car with them, a car represents a person's life or ministry. It could also represent how you're progressing in something. And things seemed smooth at first. It was like I was with them. I was with them. I was okay. So that represents you have been around people for some time. Like you've been around familiarity and the same people, and growing up, wheat from tear, wheat from tear separation. You've been around the same situation that have almost been harming you, but you've gotten used to it. Like you've grown accustomed to it or built a bone to it. And as these things have grown, as things have progressed, you realized, oh, no, something is wrong. Something, I can't stay here. I can't stay in this. I have to remove myself. I have to distance myself, certain things like that. And so that's why I jumped out. I ejected, not ejected, but I got out of the car like in an urgent emergency way. It was like I knew what I needed to do and I did it. And it was very timely. The matter was very timely. So I thank God I did it. And then they went up. And of course, we don't wish this upon anybody. We want to still stay humble and maintain a pure heart and pray for people's salvation as the Lord leads you. But he went up this ramp and everything and came down like hard crash, guys, hard crash. And it was a cold car was upside down and people were just injured. And it wasn't like a car that was a big car either. It was like those mini cars, like a regular car, almost like an Audi, AUDI, one that's not as big, not one with so many seats, one that just has like two layers of seats, the front seats and the back seat, not with like three seats. And so him doing that carelessly and just leading them into destruction, basically what was happening there, represents the wrong leaders being dethroned, people misleading his people, uh, people of one accord going to the wrong direction, the wrong path to destruction, judgment, correction, and pain. It represents pain, weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then as it went down, that's like a fall. Pride comes before the fall. Because these people, they weren't taking accountability. And I'm not saying anything towards anyone in my life. Of course, we know that dreams can be representative. It doesn't always directly mean the person is literally like that, although it could mean that too. Um, but yeah, and representing pride comes before the fall. And this person didn't take accountability of putting so many people's lives at risks and also literally injuring them to the point where they would all need to be checked at the hospital. But it didn't seem like they were going to the hospital. It didn't seem like they had an urge to actually go there. Like they weren't planning to even go. Almost like they didn't want to face what they had done or face what had happened. So that means a lack of repentance. That could also mean that as these judgments are happening, there are still going to be people who will not listen to the Lord. They will not recognize their wrong. They won't see themselves for what they really need to see. They may continue in their ways. Some people are stuck in their ways, and they may continue to even harm you or other people while in the midst of this judgment, showing that this is why God's even doing it. So some people could be more severe than others, just like how the injuries were different for different people. And so that is the end of the dream and message. I hope that that helps somebody. Please leave it down in the comments below, guys. Of course, we want to stay in a time of humility and wishing the best for everybody because it's very hard times. All right. Have a good night or evening or morning. All right. Bye, guys.